Hey guys, Quiet Potato here. Today we're going to be playing The Bottom of the Well. Now I've tried to record this like 2 other times and I haven't gotten into the game, but like just started it and then my recording thing would stop. So I think I fixed the problem and hopefully I did, otherwise you won't be seeing this video. But you're seeing me now, so I must have fixed it. So anyways, I'm sorry for the crappy video uploads and like just the short videos. I'm going to be trying to get them to be longer, but I've had like a stressful week and a stressful last week and I'll be having a stressful this week because of MCAs, and MCAs are a test that all schools have to take to like show how smart their state is. I don't know. Ask your teacher. But let's go ahead and get into this. Now I'm pretty sure this is a mystery game, but the music is beautiful. So I didn't mean that, but okay. There's the beautiful music. I don't know anything about this game, and it's not responding. That's great. That's great. Hey guys, this is my video. Welcome to Not Responding. I hope you like it. Watch 30 minutes of not respond, huh? There we go. So we're gonna go new game. Welcome to The Bottom of the Well. This game is a visual novel, meaning it is mainly text-based. Piece of interactive fiction, a book where you get to decide what happens next. Most of the gameplay consists of picking your choice from a selection of options, which will further the story. Bottom of the Well does have some gameplay aside from multiple choice, though. The most important of which is the kind of Alice, our protagonist, you're going to play. For your first playthrough, we recommend you use default Alice, but the customization is there to be used. Even if you complete the game, a different Alice might have a very different experience. If nothing else, you might just find a new way to die. What? Okay. Thank you for playing. Red Nuddle Studio. So we're going to play all of these then. So I would like the default Alice. The default Alice is capable of finishing the game to its true ending, but not necessarily through all the branches. This Alice is career-motivated, friendly, somewhat lazy, a hopeless romantic with no survival skills at all. She makes up for it by being a good organizer. Let's go ahead. Today I had the weirdest dream in my life. I'm waiting for Joe to come online so I can talk to someone about it. Oh, hi Joe. Morning, A. Morning. Did you catch the anniversary reading last night? No, well, I tried, but I fell asleep. Listen, about that. You fell asleep? Oh, come on, Alice. In Wonderland is like our favorite... Let me finish. Something happened. I was turning in on my radio. Such a Lutty. Amazing. I can even catch you online. Shut up, I'm not a Lutty. Luddite? I just like to analog things. Anyways, I was turning into the broadcast and I must have hit the AM switch or something because suddenly the channel changed to something else. What, aliens? Oh, government-run number stations? No, it was weird. Like, white noises at first. It's hard to explain why I was so drawn to it. I could hear snippets of some melody, maybe lyrics, but the signal was weak. So you turned it off and continued looking for the Alice broadcast. I went out on my balcony and turned on the antenna around until the signal came through clear. It sounded more like music with the odd signal in the background. When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead and the white knight is ticking backwards and the red queen's off with her. That's an actual song, isn't it? Ask Alice when... Oh, so somebody's pirate radio broadcast off golden oldies. I felt like there was something else, some message that music was hiding. I know it sounds weird. And then I fell asleep. What a story. No, hear me out. I dreamed, and I didn't know I was dreaming. Do you understand? It was entirely lucid, but like waking up in another world. Except I didn't think of it as another world. Ugh, does this make any sense? You had like a super lifelike dream where you didn't know you were dreaming, but you were still lucidly in control. Sounds pretty rad to me. Is this supposed to be the Mad Hatter? I'm sure it would have been, except for the whole end of the world apocalypse bit in the apocalypse bit in the dream. Okay, now you've got my attention. So, like I said, it was the end of the world. Everything I did that day felt like the real thing. Every smell, every sound, every color, every touch. It's important that you know that. I wasn't acting like I would in a dream. I didn't know if it was a dream. It is the Mad Hatter! Heavy. There was no warning, no build-up, nothing. Just between one moment and the next, the TV had turned to the emergency alert system, and this voice that sounded like it had been recorded in the 60s told us we were under attack. Were you alone? Yeah, I had a really long day at the office, so I had sworn off all social contact for the evening. I had the TV on in the background just as noise. Wait, what? The office? You mean you've got a real adult person job in this dream of yours? Yeah, actually, at the college. Student admission office. Hey, don't sound surprised. I am going to graduate in just a few months, you know. Uh-huh, with a BA in the English Lit. Shut up. Such skill with words. Anyways, what happened next? Dude, I love the Mad Hatter. Oh, it's September 18th and it's cloudy. Like I said, the TV suddenly turned to the emergency alert system, jacked the volume all the way up too. I didn't even know they could do that. The broadcast told us we were under attack right now and that we needed to get to shelter, that we had less than 30 minutes before the bombs hit. Jesus, sounds scary. At first I didn't believe it. I switched the channels, but they were all the same. And then the sirens started. Tornado sirens, flood sirens, I don't know. And I knew things were serious. So, what'd you do? Just chess. I immediately tried to call Jess? Who's that? Exactly. My, boyfriend. I mean, I don't have a boyfriend, but in my dream I did. Wait up. Tell me more about this sudden new boyfriend of yours. I thought you weren't in any dating scene. Jealous much? Actually, I've been thinking about putting myself out there. Like, maybe some online dating or something. Although I'm kind of afraid to check OkCupid right now. What if there's a guy there named Chess? Good icebreaker. Hi, I'm Alice. I dreamed about you last night. You were my end of the world, buddy. Funny. Aren't I just? You were just saying Chess. What kind of name is that anyways? I wasn't really. I mean, yeah, he was pretty hot, I guess, and smart and into me. What more could you ask for? I can sense you blushing all the way over here. Maybe I should check on my OkCupid profile, actually. So what did your boyfriend think? Well, first I tried calling him, but all I got was pre-recorded network busy message. But the net still works, so I hit him up anyway. So I hit him up there. I mean, we did most of our communication in chat anyways. And I found him, but there was no time for, well, anything. I started typing, holy hell, what the hell, holy hell, WTF is going on style stuff, and he just tersely replied he had to go. That's a little blunt. He told me he needed to go to his sister. His sister? How come? He'd mentioned her a few times. She's disabled, but lives in a house by herself, out somewhere in the Burroughs. Did he ask you to come too? He didn't ask. I did. I'm going outside my apartment in 5 minutes, he said, then locked off. I guess that's an invitation of sorts, so what do you do? Well, I knew that Chess wasn't going to wait for me. If I wanted to go with him, I had to go right away. Just grab my stuff and go. Making quick decisions in this hour of moment doesn't sound like you, so what do you do? Okay, what was your plan? The broadcast kept saying to stay indoors, to keep all windows and doors closed, stuff like that. Was it realistic of you to think you could stay in the apartment? Realistic? It wasn't like I had been through a lot of apocalypses before. I'm not sure what why can't I say that word? I'm not sure what constitutes I'm so tired, if you can't tell. Realistic. I had enough food in my cupboards to last me a little while, so at least I had that going for me. Oh yeah, and then I had the trusty radio, of course. I tried it and it worked. It was sending out the same emergency broadcast as the TV, and you called me Let it. You got me there, so what did you do? Did you try calling someone, like your parents? Of course I tried, but it was futile. The phone network was completely overworked, but the net still worked fine. So what did you find? The net was still working, but the bandwidth was several lacking. Major news networks were either down or overloaded, but all the big search engines defaulted to some kind of government site in super simple HTML. That kind of confirmed it really was the real deal. Isn't the net supposed to be some kind of DARPA invention anyway? Wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind of system in place to take over if it needed to be. Well, they didn't take it over. You could still go wherever you wanted. Facebook still worked. Apocalypse Proof servers? Nice. It was insane. I tried to get in touch with my brother. He's the only one who's ever got an account, but there was no reply. I spammed my aunts and sent emails to my mother, but I don't know. It felt like I needed to find someone right there and then. And a group chat. It was spreading through our social network like wildfire. Someone had found the closest old fallout shelter that was actually still operable, down on 3rd. People were going there, just grabbing all they could and running before the bombs fell. So what happened next? You know, I did find you in mine. That must have been useless. I'm all the way over in old Blighty. Useless things were different in your dream. No, you were still in the UK. The bombs had already started falling there. You disappeared. There's nothing more to do. It was only a dream, Al. This is weird so far. Sure. So then what? The old fallout shelter was down on 3rd. It wasn't far. Close enough to walk anyway. Did you think to bring anything? Oh, right. Yes. I grabbed the biggest bag I had. A backpack. People always called it magic. You could fit so much in it, bigger than the inside and all that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Take food. Drop spare clothes. Take food, take food. We can go ahead and drop the map, and we're gonna go ahead and take spare, no. Go ahead and take the map. So we have a sleeping bag, 2 days worth of food, a flashlight, and a map. I don't think we really need a radio, and if we need spare, the rest of my clothes, are in a state of advanced disarray, but I've kept a set of clean and folded in case I find myself on a date. Food. My miniature sleeping bag, always useful for sleepovers. God knows how useful it'll be. The flashlight keeps batteries in it fresh and make sure it works at all times, especially when evenings are darker. Expressions I use downtown. Yeah, that seems good. Like if we, yeah, that seems good. So let's go ahead and go. Exit our inventory. Well, go on. What was it like? Did you run into trouble? You could say that. God, that shelter. So I headed towards the shelter. So I headed towards the shelter from my apartment. I'll admit, I was kind of hoping it was all just some kind of big false alarm, and by tomorrow everything would be back to normal. Like an extreme version of Olsen Ware's War of the Worlds broadcast. Actually, the panic that radio showed caused was greatly exaggerated, probably by Wells himself, and it worked. We still remember it today. Great ad companion. How long? We have 30 minutes left, so we're good. Guess that English lit degree is coming to use at least. Yeah, well, it didn't really feel like it. I remember trying to think of words to describe the way the streets felt. The way the city sounded. Turmoil, chaos, anarchy, tumult, pandemonium. The capital of hell. Now who's got a degree in lit? stop stalling. Yeah, it's just so damn. Like I said, everything felt so real. The panic in the streets, the accidents everywhere, no emergency responders showing up, and the ever-present siren. It was like everyone walked with their eyes to the sky, just expecting to see a flash. Did you make it to the shelter okay? The shelter was actually in the basement of a bar. They used it as a storage, which was handy since there was a door towards the street, but there was no signs of anything like that anymore. I just knew about it from the Facebook conversation. Okay, wait, isn't that the bar you always go to, the Rad Bar? Heh, yeah. Go on, Alice, did you get in? I went to what I thought was a side door. It wasn't that kind of alleyway I'd usually hang out in. I could just imagine junkies and hobos sleeping among the trash bags. Anyways, the suspense is killing me. So I knocked on the door and then immediately tried the handle. It was locked. Nothing happened for a while. And then the door just opened. Just a bit. And she stuck her head out. She? Wow. The queen. She was this red-headed chick who had taken charge of everything in there. She was the one who originally posted about the place, so I guess she felt she owned it somehow. She stood there in the doorway looking me over and then basically said, "We're full." Like it was some exclusive club. I can't believe they just keep you out for no good reason. It was actually full. Ha, not a chance. There was a sign on the door that said capacity 100. There was no way there was 100 people in there already. I said as much. She didn't reply. I guess you didn't let it be out that. I tried talking my way in. "You can't just leave me out here," and so forth. She just repeated what they were full. That there wasn't enough food for any more, and that I should just try some other places to hide. Stone cold, indeed. I tried telling her I wouldn't be a burden. I had brought food. I had opened my bag and showed her. "You're nicer than I would be." What did she say? I wasn't being nice. I was being desperate. I was trying to figure out the rules of this sudden new reality. She hesitated, then she said, "All right, but you will have to share." A bribe, huh? How tempting. What was your answer? So she let me slip in, closing the door behind me with a bang. I barely had time to get my bearings before she started taking command again, telling me to hurry up and empty me bags. Empty your bags? She had some kind of notion she should be in charge of the supplies. And what did you say to that? Holy, I didn't know you had it in you. I don't know. I was tired, stressed out of my mind, panicking, and the girl tried to keep us outside, and now she wanted my stuff? I didn't have time for her. Not that I'm in support of this course of action. I am, but you had sort of made a deal with her. That deal was off. You go, girl. How'd she react? Stunned that someone would actually stand up to her. What did she have to say for herself? She said she was the proprietor of the Rad Bar, and therefore she the legal owner of the Fallout shelter, and that it was only out of the kindness of her heart that she allowed us inside. Allowed you, huh? Yeah, but I was used to her kind. I saw them all the time at work. Untitled mothers, spoiled students, stuck-up RAs. I told her flat out she wasn't going to be the boss people. She wasn't going to boss people around when lives were at stake. All the time at work. I wish my dreams would give me this kind of confidence. Well, her bubble didn't exactly burst. She went quiet and left me and mine alone. Oh, did she leave you alone afterwards? The place had maybe 20 people in it, us included, but she stayed away from most of the rest of us, so yes, she did. Were you the last to arrive? No, soon after there were some others. These she just let in without trouble, embracing one of them, this big, burly guy with a motorcycle jacket. Someone you knew? Actually, yes. Ray was his name. He looked pretty close. I mainly knew him for his love for motorcycles. I had no idea he knew the queen. But the place was still empty. Yeah. Soon after, though, there was another knock, and this time the queen tried to do the same thing she did with me. What did you do? Damn right. When I raised my voice at her, she just turned red. What was your approach? I tried pushing my way in between, but she just pushed me back, then called for Ray. Suddenly I found myself alone, surrounded by a whole bunch of rather unkind gentlemen. You bit off more than you could chew? You could say that. She gave me an ultanium, steps down right now or leave. What did you do? I don't know what would be the better option here. I know this is a dream, but geez, what she was doing was not right. I know, but I was afraid. I didn't want to be thrown out. I understand, still. It boils my blood. Who says that? Well, anyways, she and her friends closed the door and made sure it was kept closed. I really, really hoped whoever was left outside actually left to find other shelter, because when bombs started to drop, yes, the bombs. We were all underground, down a set of stairs leading to the actual bunker. It was filled with barrels and barrels of beer and other drinks, but at least there was light for a while. So it actually happened, the nuclear war. Yes, we had a radio with us, and we all clustered around it. At first, there were sporadic reports that U.S. missiles defense system was working and that it was shooting down the incoming warheads, but then the signal turned off, and a few moments later we felt the rumble. Holy, but you were okay? The shelter did what it was designed to do, yes, although at one point there was a terrible sound just above, and the shelter was briefly filled with dust. I was pretty sure we were all dead. People were screaming, babies were crying, the lights flickered and died. It was the end. Holy, your subconscious wasn't joking around. We subsisted on the candles and flashlights and waited for the radio to come back. It did after a while. What did it say? Just about expected fallout patterns. It sounded very recorded, but I guess there had to be someone alive up there still clicking the buttons. But even that ended after a while. Wow, okay, so how long did you stay down there? Well, the radio said there was a cloud of radioactive ash coming our way within 24 hours and told everyone to stay until further notice. Then it died. So, I guess you stayed at least 24 hours then? Of course. The problem came when we tried to leave. What? Well, the shelter was underground, underneath a big trapdoor, and the house above, it apparently collapsed on the trapdoor. We tried to open it, pushed and pushed, but it wouldn't budge. That's like a real nightmare, buried alive. Well, we had food down there for a while, and if we started drinking beer with our meals, we could probably stretch it out for weeks. Of course, then we'd all be drunk all the time, too, but what then? Maybe there'd be a rescue? Maybe. But what if there wasn't? What did the others think? Raina's queen wanted to sit tight and wait for help. A few of the others wanted to find an alternate way out, maybe through one of the ventilation shafts. A third option would be to keep working on the trapdoor. It opened out, but if we removed the hinges and got it to collapse inward, then dug up through the radioactive debris. Anyways, people were getting very antsy, so it was time to make some decision. So what did you do? Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you get air from the ventilation shaft? Well, yes, so it was kind of risky to go messing with it, and we all knew that, but the trapdoor didn't feel like a good idea, and neither was just staying put, so it was a shot. So what did you find out? Well, I stood on the shoulders of some others and managed to dislodge the grate on one of the shafts in the roof. I shone a flashlight in and saw it was just barely big enough for one thin-shouldered person. Sounds like someone I know. Well, with a bit of help, they pushed me up into the shaft. It was tight, very tight, but I could just barely wiggle my way upward. This was roughly the point I remembered I have a serious fear of enclosed spaces. Well, I understand. What if you got stuck? No one would be able to help you, especially if it were somewhere further up. Who knows if it even led to the surface, or if it was unblocked up there. Risky. Yeah, I know. I definitely had some reservations. So, what'd you do? Brave. It was that or remain stuck underground. Either way, I was going to die in the dark. Still, I think most people would prefer to delete that or then hope for the best somewhere else. Hey, don't ask me. I did what I did in the dream because that's who I was in the dream. I don't think it was me exactly. It was more like a future potential me, you know? Sure, I guess. Anyway, crawl space, how did you do it? It was tight, and it got tighter fast. I felt like hyperventilating, but somehow I got my breathing under control. The flashlight helped a lot. I guess you didn't have a piece of mushroom that would make you smaller, did you? Ha, very appropriate. No, I didn't. Anyways, somehow I managed to continue pushing myself up the sides of the tunnel. I got so tired so fast, every muscle in my body was burning. You can't... 90 minutes, okay. You can't have been that far underground, though. It must have done just a few dozen feet, right? Sure, but there were filters, and it was thin, and it went straight up, and yeah, it was not fun. The worst part was I didn't even have any proper tools with me, just whatever we had to use to pry away the first cover, a claw hammer, I think. What was your strategy? It wasn't easy, and I really don't want to think about what would have happened if I didn't keep my cool. It would have been so easy to just get stuck. But you didn't. I didn't. So somehow I found myself looking at sunlight streaming in through the grate at the very top. At this point, I'd removed about 5 active coal filters, so I knew that whatever else happened, their filtration system would be broken now. In other words, you had to get them out. Yes, except that it wouldn't be as easy as that. Jesus, the way things looked up there. Yes? The whole building had collapsed on top of us. It was nothing but concrete and rebar and broken glass. Lucky the ventilation shaft was on the street, and luckily nothing had fallen on it either. But the rest of the city, it was pretty much unrecognizable. It's December 20th now. It was the 18th, so they were in there for like 2 days. So there really had been a nuclear war. I don't think that was ever a doubt in... Oh my gosh, I don't think that was ever in any doubt. Anyways, I had a bit of breakdown, but then I got my business and I located the trapdoor. Soon enough, it was buried underneath a ton of rubble, but it actually didn't look that bad from up here. A concentrated effort from down below with some help from up here, I would see it cleared within a day, I was sure. What about the radiation? I don't know. Everything was covered in a layer of ash, but I had no idea it was radioactive or not. So what did you end up doing? The site was, like I said, a mess. I figured, though, my first step would be to dig out enough of it to be able to bang on it, to let know people I'd gotten out. Clever. Did they answer? Yes, excitedly and repeatedly. So you started clearing it on your end, and they started to try to break open the trap door so that they could help in their own way. How long did it take? It took longer than I would have wanted. I worked hard, and I think that inspired a lot of people down there. But I have a feeling the Queen was less less than hopeful. It took us 2 days of work, although more and more people joined in after the first crack of light that could be seen. And that's the 21st. It must have been wonderful, though, to help dig out all those people. Were they grateful? Oh, yes, although the Queen still held to her fort. She said in no uncertain terms that she was staying right there, and that anyone who didn't want to wait to rescue was free to leave. And you? Were you free to stay? Not a million years. She was adamant I left. Me specifically, Queen Bee Syndrome. The others crawled up after me. They'd do what I wanted. A few others joined as well, jumping camp. So, what did you decide to do? I feel like she would want to know what happened to her boyfriend, but I'm not sure that's the best decision, you know? And I may have to stop this recording, so if you see a random pause, it means I'm adding on because I only have 15 minutes left, and so I'll stop the recording and then continue the recording. But, it was time to leave, all of us. So how many of you left? We were over a dozen when we left the apartment building. What did it look like? The streets? Awful. Ruined. Buildings everywhere, charred by fire, most of them. We had to pick our way between cars and debris and bodies. There are so many bodies. It makes me sick just to think about it. Did you figure out where to go? We started coming across survivors soon enough. People like us. Some with backpacks and some with just clothes on their backs. It was absolutely wretched to see them. Some were staying put, but most were moving. Rumor had it there was an evacuation center set up at the college. What, like your college? Yeah. Talk about going back to where you started. Go on, how did it go? It was pretty slow going, and even though we tried to keep out of the black rain, there wasn't much that we could do, but at least we had a goal and others to help us get there. I don't know what this means. What is this? It's like a happiness? This is our food, this is our people, this is our backpack, this is our map. I don't know what this is, though. So it was real, the evacuation center. Centre? Not so fast. There was a slight obstacle still on the way. Oh? What's that? The river. There's a river? Not something I had thought about either. I didn't live anywhere near it, so whenever I crossed it, I just drove over it. But it was there. I'm sorry, but there it was. A geographical, oh my god, reality. I am so tired. So, I mean, the bridges were surely still there. True, but when we approached them, we realized they were occupied. Uh-oh, by whom? I'm not sure. I saw them from afar, the kind ducked in the cover. What? I'm not sure. I saw them from afar and kind of ducked into cover. I saw immediately they weren't good news. They had guns and were harassing the other people who'd come to the bridge. I think they were mugging them. Did they let anyone pass? Yes, some, but I didn't know what the price was, or if they had some other criteria for letting people through. So what did you do? And what's to say the other bridges didn't have similar setups, like the ones. Seems like a likely thing to do. I was willing to take the chance. I wasn't going to tangle with a group of armed men, even if I lost some time. How much time did you lose? There's actually not much else to say. Huh? Well, I'd been feeling it for a long time already, but by then it just came to an end. I couldn't move anymore. I was too weak. I had to rest, but I couldn't even keep food down. In the end, I couldn't even stay conscious or talk. Radiation poisoning? Yes. Of the cute, bad kind. I suppose it's lucky I can't really say much more of my last time on Earth. I was too delirious, too out of it, to really notice or realize anything anymore. Maybe some of the others tried to help me. I don't even know. I came in and out of it, but mostly I remember incredible pain whenever I was conscious. And thus concludes my dream. Well, that was interesting. What do you think? I think it felt incomplete, like there was something missing. That wasn't the way it was supposed to end, you know? Dreams are supposed to end in certain ways. This one was, I think. It felt like it was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening closely enough. Maybe you could try it again next night. See if you hear the same recording. Speaking of, what frequency was this on? That's the weird part. When I tried to see, I realized I'd hit the channel, and it was in fact reading Alice in Wonderland. And this is exactly some obscure number station frequency on the AM bands. Well, maybe you'll dream it next night again anyways. That's a good thing with dreams. You can always dream them again. And maybe do something different the second time around. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to obviously be playing this again because it seems like each one is just about 30 minutes depending on what you do. But, yeah, cool. So we got our first death. Wow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you want me to do next, like if you want, which Alice you want me to be, if you want me to customize it, and like how to customize it, because I'm willing to try anything. And like tell me if you think I did something wrong or what you would have done instead. But if you like this, go ahead and subscribe and give me a like up and a comment down below, because I always answer to my comments if there is like a question or something or a comment, and I always answer just because I'm a nice person. Ding. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I sure did. I'm sure to be doing this very soon again just because of how fun it was. But anyways, I'm going to continue to try to upload, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, stay kawaii, peoples. Bye!